we will see what happens. It doesn't say connecting to Facebook. You let me know if I'm connected. Hey, you guys, we're trying something new tonight, so please be patient with us. We're attempting to stream to Facebook and to YouTube to give you guys options for where you want to watch from. There's a delay, which it may just be the bandwidth. So if you guys could just pop on a comment and say, you know, hey, how you doing? That will be awesome. I cannot see any comments though.
Let's see. I see something saying you're live now, but it's not letting me get there.
Oh, okay. I'm always pushing the boundaries, y'all. I can't see comments at all, so you're gonna have to really be the captain tonight, baby.
All right, let me see.
Ooh, and you guys, we have the cooler on because it's hot. I did a live into my private group for my leather look class on Friday, and I turned off the AC and I forgot to turn it back on. So I turned this one on a couple hours ago, but it's hot. So I'm gonna be all shiny. Y'all just look over me. Am I good?
Okay, you're good on Facebook.
Okay, very good.
Now let's see.
So while he's looking for me on YouTube, hey you guys, welcome to the shed. For anyone who's new to Roycycled Treasures, my name is Roycycled Bell, and the voice that you hear behind the camera is my handsome husband, Mr. David Bell, and together we make up Roycycled Treasures. We meet here every Sunday to hang out, to chat, and to craft, and so that is what Sunday nights are about. That's what we're doing.
All right. I can't plug headphones into both, so that's why you
heard. Okay. You just wanted to make sure. So I am live on YouTube too?
So you are live on YouTube too.
Okay.
Although they are different images, but I can see the live chat in YouTube.
Okay. And I don't know how many people we'll have over there today. This is our first time going live on YouTube, you guys.
All right, so do we want to say hello?
Let's say hey to everybody. Right, hey, how y'all doing?
I'm going to unplug my ears because that's really confusing. I got 3 different visuals and 2 different sounds. And so no. All right, so on Facebook, we have Arlene Adoptante, Adoptante,
Opentake, isn't it? No?
Adopant? I don't know.
No.
I bet you there's got to be a silent letter in there somewhere.
Yes.
Doris Rushing, Marty Hardy, Barbara Garrels.
Marty told me to leave the AC on. Thank you, Marty, because we don't have to. Girl, it's hot.
Yep. Stephanie Devine, Susan Matchett, hello from Oregon. Chris Schmidt, happy 3rd of July. Jeannie Mustaine, Trisha Garrett is watching.
Hey, Trisha Garrett.
Carla Wayne, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Heune.
Oh.
Billy Keir is headed to Flagstaff for cooler weather.
For cooler weather, I'm sure is what she meant to say.
Well, maybe she's going to do some outdoor cooking. We don't want to in this heat.
No.
Memory Williams from Amarillo, Texas. What a cool name.
Amarillo by morning.
Memorie. That's her first name, Memory.
Yeah. I knew somebody, Memory, here in Stafford growing up, too.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if it's the same person.
Melissa Paget. Von Nelson Love. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Billy Keir for cooler weather. She did correct.
Yeah, I got 2 Billies.
Cindy Marie from San Jose, California. Tammy Valoni. Holly Murphy from Las Cruces, New Mexico. We have not gone to Las Cruces. We need to.
Yes.
We have acquaintances there. Diane Reeve from Cato, New York. Corinne Godfrey from the Great White North. Jan Kilborn. Let's see, Chris Schmidt. The shine is just your sparkling personality coming through. Oh,
thank you, Chris. We'll call it a sparkle. That makes me feel better.
Kathleen Hubis from Illinois. Tina Krieger LaMontagne from Oregon. Angie Champagne. Dorothy Lage is watching.
Hey, Miss Dorothy. Hello to everybody.
Yes. Let's see.
Oh,
All right.
it's still wet
Pamela
on me.
Adair from East Tennessee. And let's see. Live chat from YouTube. Tracy Little says hello from Ohio.
Oh, hi, Tracy.
Lunchbox Lady is her handle, but it's Lisa Vansil trying YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Gwen
guys can
Hatcher,
let me know.
seeing you in Dallas. Let's see. Shannon Booth says hello, and Jan G says hi from Michigan.
Hello, hello. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. We're finishing last week's project, and y'all know what? Like, I think I have everything. I think I'm organized. We'll see what happens. Y'all know I'm gonna probably forget something, but we're gonna see what happens. So last week we started off with this like really inexpensive sign from the thrift store, right? That's actually the back of it, but I cheated and took screenshots from the live. But this was the front of it, right? And I think I paid, I wish I could zoom in on that price. I want to say maybe $2 is what I paid for at the thrift store. So we did some stuff last week. We let's see, what did we do? We made letters, right? We got our let me do this really quickly so you guys can see the table. We used the ILD retro stamp and some resin to make our letters, and we decoupaged our letters. And we're gonna be using the Roycycled Textures decoupage paper. So we use the blue side to decoupage the letters, and so we're gonna use the rusty side to decoupage the back of our sign. And I think that's all we did last week. Why did it feel like we did a lot more? And we also poured other resin for molds so we could add some fancy stuff to the frame. And I just took the liberty of painting these ahead of time, you guys, so that you guys would not have to be bored watching me paint these tonight. And I just did a coat of black on all the molds that we casted together last week. And then of course the Would You Bend gears, I went ahead and painted those black. So at the end of last week, this is where we left off. So we had our believed decoupaged. I did go ahead and paint black around the edges. We had some discussion about that, if we should use black or we should use a metallic. I went ahead and went with black. I still may add a metallic though over the black, but so this is where we are, just in case you weren't here last week, and you guys can see what we're doing since we're doing a continuation from last week. Oh, and the mold that we used was the olive crest mold from Iron Orchid Design. This mold is fabulous. I have a feeling I'm going to be using this plate right here a lot. I have a basket that I found at the thrift store and it's flat on the back, and so I want to make like a faux ceramic, like, you know, plates. And I think I'm going to put 722 on it. This is going to be on the porch because that's our address number. Anyways, that'll be a YouTube video more than likely for another day. But, do anybody have any questions before we get started tonight?
Let's see. No questions.
Okay.
Melissa Paget, as Grandma Lee used to say, men sweat, women perspire, ladies glow.
That's right, we glisten, right? I'm glistening. Oh, one thing I did want to talk about tonight. So, I have been really like having a conversation with myself about stuff, and I am just so grateful for you guys because, you know, we have a pretty big group who show up every Sunday. And I know y'all could be spending your time anywhere. Y'all could be doing anything else. But you guys come and you hang out with me and David, even though my husband talks about crazy stuff that has nothing to do with crafting. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You guys come and hang out with us. So I wanted to do a drawing tonight. So if you share, then you'll be entered in for a chance to win a drawing. So this is this is actually an older bag. You guys can see the iteration of my logos changed a little bit. And this is one of my old decoupage designs that honestly I had kind of forgotten about. When I found this bag, I'm like, ooh, I forgot about that design. That was actually one of my favorites. But I digress. I'm going to show you guys what's in the bag. So this is like inside of my leather look course. We had a challenge, and so I drew a few things, and one of the things that I created was like a random craft grab bag, and it was so fun making it that I made another one for tonight for you guys. So whoever gets pulled tonight wins this craft grab bag, and I'll just go over what's in it really quickly. There is a microfiber cloth towel in here. I'm all looking like you guys can see. Let's do it this way so you guys can see. A white fiber cloth towel is in there. A little mini FIFO bottle. A sponge. You can paint with these. I have a small brush set is in here. I just went around my room and just like pulled out random stuff. A felt tipped spatula. And we'll have to do, you can't share on YouTube, so how should we do it?
Actually, I did. I shared it to my Facebook feed.
Oh, okay, so we can, okay, very good. So everybody can be included in the drawing from both places, right?
Actually, I shared it to my Twitter feed too.
Oh.
But I can only share it to my Instagram chats, which I don't know what an Instagram chat is.
I don't know.
So I have no clue.
Okay.
But so I shared it to my Twitter and my Facebook, and then I shared Facebook like normal.
Okay. So if you guys will share, then you'll be entered for a chance to win. This is a really cool. I found these a few years ago. This is a misting spray bottle. It's just a small one, but it's actually a misting spray bottle. I have a set of like knives, and there's actually quite a few. They're plastic, but they're really cool. I use these for my classes when I do classes locally. So those are there, like paint spatulas. This is really cool. Michelle Adamus is the one that I saw this from first, and it's a silicone like spatula, but they make really nice stir sticks for your paints. So it's a nice sustainable option than just using disposable stir sticks, because you can stir your paint, and because it's silicone, it washes off really easy. So that's in there. And these are made for makeup, I guess, but if you have like a really delicate or lacy stencil, these are awesome. For using for stencils. And then a melamine sponge, which there are multiple uses for this. And then this is a sanding block. Well, not a sanding block, it's actually a sanding pad, but it's a 220 or a 320. It feels like a 220 though. I think it's 220 on this side and 320 on this side. So this is the grab bag that we'll be drawing from, and I think it'll only be like appropriate for me to throw at least one decoupage paper in there. So this is for tonight's drawing, is the crafts. What are we gonna call this baby?
Are you doing just one, or are you doing one for each platform?
Just one. I only packed one. That one is from the leather look class. I gotta get those mailed out.
Okay.
All right,
so. Because Lunchbox Lady said shared on Messenger and Instagram.
Thank you so much.
Shannon Booth liked and shared on Twitter and more.
Thank you. So. Y'all know stuff I don't know about, so yeah. I have to investigate that.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out what we should do first.
Cheryl Montague, Montgomery Montague. Montgomery House says, love this spatula. Where did you find it?
I got mine, y'all know, from Amazon. But I bought like a bulk, because I bought a whole pack of them. But
and Marlene Mack asked the felt tip thing. That's the same thing, right? It's a spatula.
Yes, it's just it's just a spatula. Yeah. I like using it to decoupage though, because the felt like glides across. You guys have seen me use this, right? It glides across really good, and it helps you to like knock out any wrinkles. But I have too much stuff on my table.
I will say I'm having a little difficulty on YouTube in that if I look at the live chat, it gives me the option to pause, play. It's giving me the controls.
Yes.
I can't take them off.
You can't take the controls off?
Yeah. You see what I mean?
But you can see the chat though, right?
But I can see the chat. And to me, that's the important thing for me.
Yes, seeing the chat.
I can't understand why.
I'm sure there's a way, baby. Yeah. This is our first time, you guys, so.
But I did learn, if you're watching on YouTube and you have a Roku, you can send your YouTube to your Roku.
Yes.
We saw that. We experimented with it, and it gave me the option when I did sharing.
I don't want people watching me in high def all shiny, baby.
It's a lot more fun to watch at home when you're sitting on the couch with your feet up and a glass of wine.
I know.
Tell your husband, you know what? I get the TV now because you got a football on Sundays in the fall and the winter. It's your term. It's your time right now.
It's your time right now. Oh my gosh. I know, huh? You causing problems, baby. Somebody's husband's listening. They gonna send you a message later.
You know what? Oh, Dorothy Lage, are you doing Pinners Conference this year?
Yes, we are doing Pinners Conference. We've actually already started prepping for Pinners. So if you go to the site for Arizona Pinners, you can see the project that I'll be doing. This year I'll actually be teaching a class. Last year I just did a presentation. So this year I'll actually be teaching a class. I'm a little nervous, y'all. I'm a little nervous about teaching 200 people, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And so I already have my samples sent in for that. I'm actually kind of excited. I'm kind of really excited about that.
Sarah JD, I'm on Roku right now.
Oh, Lord, Sarah,
So
I'm
there you
so
go.
sorry.
Carmen Dowmer, so excited to be there in a month.
Hey, Miss Carmen. Yes, our retailers retreat is right around the corner. And so I am super excited about hosting the retailers here. Y'all knew I was going to forget something. I do not have anything to put my decoupage media.
I get to watch you on my big screen TV in my hotel room.
Ooh.
That's Lunchbox Lady on YouTube.
She's on the road.
Linda Gordette. I hope I'm pronouncing it. Could be Gorday. Would you mind explaining how you made the letters?
The letters. Yes, Linda. This is what we did on our whole live. Last week I did do a review when we first came live tonight, but I used the Iron Orchid Designs retro stamp, and we poured the resin in them to make the letters. And so that's what we did last Sunday, is we made the letters and then we decoupaged the letters. And I was thinking last Sunday after our live, if you want it to be less complicated, I'm like looking for something to put stuff in, y'all, because I know I'm gonna forget something. I'm gonna just use this. If you want it to be less complicated, let's say you're like, Royce, I'm really not ready to deal with like the resin. You could just stamp, right? Just use your stamps over the decoupage paper and just fussy cut them out and decoupage them, right? So you wouldn't have to go through pouring the resin in the stamps. You could just use the stamps for their intended purpose. Imagine that. I'm gonna use my little cup for my stuff because I forgot to get something to put. I'm using Wise Owl's 1 hour enamel to decoupage tonight, you guys, because I don't know yet, I may want to go over my decoupage with transfers. I haven't decided, but I'd like to leave my options open. And I do love the way the transfers adhere to the 1 hour enamel. So you guys remember last week we cut our piece and it's too short, right? So I'm gonna have to piece together 2 pieces, and I tore that. I'm gonna have to piece together 2 pieces of decoupage to be able to cover my whole sign. So we're gonna do that together.
Melissa Paget, yes, YouTube on Roku, but can we comment? We did not try that.
We did not try
so
that.
I don't know, but we did learn the easy way to type things is to use your phone as your remote for your Roku, but I don't know if that will translate to comments. So
we're learning, girl. We don't know. So this is
Marlene Mack. I only know how to share on Facebook. We're with you.
We're with you, Marlene.
We understand.
This is our first time. We're exploring new universes tonight.
We are.
This is the Textures decoupage paper, you guys. I really do love this paper. I know people probably thought I was crazy when it came out, but to me this is just so yummy. And so this is what we're using to breathe life into our project. So I'm gonna need another piece of this side, and so I'm just gonna trim it really quickly.
Let's see. Melinda Fedoris, I hear tell you have some new papers. When will they be released?
You hear tell? Soon. You guys know what's happened is back in the day, like 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, we used to be able to set like solid release dates like 3 months in advance and plan, but supply chain and manufacturing has become so wonky that for a lot of the brands we're just afraid to set a date that far in advance. And so I'm kind of waiting to see, to make sure that things are going to be on schedule before setting an actual date for the launch. But as soon as I am comfortable and confident that things are going to go smoothly, we will have a date for you guys. And I'm super excited about this launch. And generally for Roycycled, the June launch is primarily holiday designs. There are some other designs, but primarily this launch is holiday designs, so that we can get designs out to you guys early.
Deb Hackett, I love the option of watching on YouTube. So yeah, 2 options.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, because I sent an email out, and you guys can let me know how you feel about that too, because that was my first time doing that. I sent an email, even though my button to reserve didn't work. Me and technology, y'all should see me. And so informing everyone about the live tonight, and somebody responded and said they're not on Facebook. So I thought, you know what? I can go live on YouTube. We should just try it and see what happens.
Yeah, there are some people that just don't want to do the social media thing, and nothing
which is
wrong
fine.
with that.
So then this way we can still serve everyone.
Let's see. We had. There's one I missed. Billy Keir, I'm so excited. I will definitely get a ticket to the class. I'm guessing that's Pinners.
Yes. Oh yeah. If you guys are in the Scottsdale area in November, you guys have to come out and see me. We had so much fun last year. I did make and takes in my booth all day, so I got to hang out and visit all day.
Look, I'm not trying to spend your money, people. But if you live Canada, the Midwest, the East Coast, especially the northern East Coast, November's a great time to come to Arizona.
Oh yeah, the weather is nice in November, you guys.
It really is.
People leave the snow to come here for the sunshine.
So if you want a vacation, even a mini vacation,
yes.
3-4 days, that's a good time. Let's see. Deb Highland, I use the air dry clay also.
In the molds?
Yes. In the molds. I'm playing catch up. Lindsay Tyler, wouldn't have the cool 3D look just stamping them though.
Yeah, but I want to give people options, You guys know, I feel like my goal is to teach. Absolutely. You guys know I love that. But I also want to encourage. And so everyone's at a different point on their creative journeys. And so I never want to do something that feels like it's too much. So that's why I like to give options. So maybe you're not ready to play with resin just yet, but you can still have fun with the idea.
Jan Kilborn, you can make the letters out of heavy stock paper and then decoupage.
You could do that too.
Shannon Booth, try stamping a second time, offset just a bit from the first, color in a darker color for shadow to help with dimension.
Yes.
Might that work?
A drop shadow. Yeah, that would be a really good idea, Shannon. I'm going to show you guys something. Oh, go ahead. Was there something else?
Okay, Dorothy Lage only received the text, not the email. Kathleen Hoovis, love the email. Wasn't sure if you would be live this weekend.
Very good.
Yeah, Debbie Highland. A mini vacay, can we all stay at your place? We don't live in Scottsdale.
I know, we'll be in a motel too.
Yeah, we will.
So I'm going to show you guys something. So I have these 2 pieces. Oh, I just love this paper. I'm sorry. Whenever I look at the camera, I can see all the texture. It is so yummy. And it didn't take me 5 layers of paint to create it, which is a major cheat. But I have these 2 pieces right here. I don't want to try to match pieces together because I feel like, especially with a texture like this, you'd be able to see the line. And so I want to deco my edges, but I still want them to go together and join right. So I'm going to cheat. I have them overlap just a bit right here. And so I'm going to do my deco right where my papers overlap, so that they're both going to be exactly the same. And I'll still be able to match them up even though the edges are decoed, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this one. I should be using a smaller brush. I'm more likely to have overlap with a larger brush. So if you guys do this, use a smaller brush, okay? Be like our parents. Do as I say, not as I do. And so now I really should have used a super skinny brush. if I wanted it to be like super exact, I should have used my super skinny brush, because what happened with the fat brush, I had a lot of options for where the paper would tear, and so it's not tearing exactly right. But let me go through and tear all the way to the back, and maybe that will get us where we want to be.
Drea's on.
Hey Drea, happy birthday, Drea.
That's right. And Drea Jefferson's birthday. She turned 22.
Yes.
She's barely legal.
She's laughing hard over there. I can hear her already. She's saying, thank you, David. Okay. So now, even though my edges are deckled, they're still going to be... I should have used a skinny brush to demonstrate this better. I'm sorry, you guys. Because what's happening is I have this wide band of wet, so I have a lot of options for where the paper is going to tear. Where if I would have used a super skinny brush, then it would have torn exactly right. So, but now I can bring my two pieces together, and I'm going to have very little overlap. And if I had used a skinny brush, I would have zero overlap. But I'm going to end up with this really, I don't know what happened right there. Because now I'm going to have overlap right here, and I don't want that.
It really doesn't look bad on the video.
No, it doesn't look bad here either. I wanted a very specific outcome. Y'all know how it is. I had a picture in my mind of how it was going to go. And I used too big of a brush, so it didn't go the way I wanted. But we're good, though.
Ruru2. Oh, that, I got it. Ruru2 says Facebook was glitching, so I switched to YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing, too, is when you have options, if one is, having a hard time.
Drea says yes, 22.
So I'm going to start by putting down an anchor row on this right here. And what I mean by an anchor row is, you guys see how I have to like hold my paper to make sure it doesn't shift so that it goes down just the way I want it to. Once I get my anchor row down, I don't have to worry about that. So I like to just get a small row down, and what that's going to do is anchor the position of my paper so that I don't have to worry about that anymore. And you see how the felt just kind of glides across there really easily? So it just makes it easy for me to manipulate the paper without tearing it. And you guys have seen me use saran wrap. So it's the same like theory, right? It's just something really slick that'll go across there really quickly.
You are not going to like this comment. Debbie Highland. David, I found copies of Superman is Dead with the black armband. One open and one sealed. In your opinion, think they are worth anything? Unfortunately, no, because so many copies were printed.
Oh.
The one that's open might be worth $1 or $2. The one that's sealed, you might be able to get about $5 for.
That's something.
Well,
I know it's not like a $500 or a $300.
Now those books from the 90s are finally starting to pick up in price. But there were so mere books that were printed then that for a long time you couldn't give those books away. I literally gave those books away.
You make it sound like the 90s were a long time ago. The 90s were just yesterday.
So they were bad books, though. That's not the Superman. Superman was actually a good book.
Yeah, I know what I don't appreciate. I don't appreciate these kids having 90s parties. Like, that insinuates that was like a long time ago.
30 years, baby. 30 years.
Gosh. No. 90s party. I remember we used to have 70s parties.
So did I, in the 70s.
No, not in the 70s. We used to have them like in the 90s.
Melissa Paget, can I gift you 6 Mad magazines? Absolutely. Mad, I will say Mad probably did more for a generation of humorists than anything except Monty Python and Saturday Night Live. I would say Mad might even be more influential than Saturday Night Live.
Really?
Oh, Mad. Oh, I knew guys that didn't like comic books. Everybody read Mad.
I have a box full of Mad magazines.
Oh, sweetheart,
I
you've
didn't
been
know
holding
you-
out on me.
I mean, I don't know. They're just, I bought a whole thing of ephemera and they were in there and I didn't want to get rid of them. So I think they're in the closet.
Celestine Todd. I was in the 70s. You know what? That brings up a good thing. So, good idea. I don't know if anybody saw it, but you posted during the week.
Oh, yeah.
How did you know people were bougie without them saying they were bougie?
Yes. Oh,
No.
that would have been a much funner way to post it, too.
It's basically, what did somebody have that made you think they were rich?
Yes.
The way you asked me was when I was a kid, so my first response was color TV. And then you were like, well, what about in the 70s, I think is what you said?
Yeah, like the early 70s.
Because when I was a kid, it was the 60s.
Yeah. I just remember when my Aunt Mary got a microwave, like it was a big deal.
Yeah, I remember when a friend's dad and mom and dad, well, no, just a mom, because I think they had divorced by that point. That was one of my cop buddy.
I didn't know anybody. You have to let the old folks tell it. People didn't get divorced back then.
Oh, yeah, after every cop did.
Oh, that's a hard gig, though.
It is. So, yeah, because I lived in cop land. All my friends' parents were cops.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them didn't have divorced parents. But I remember when his mom got a microwave. That was a big deal.
That was a big deal. I'm going to scoot you guys in really quickly. I'll try not to make you dizzy like we did last week. So you guys see that seam? Like, you can't see it. I mean, that's the whole point. And it's because neither edge is straight. So it goes like this and like that and like that. And so it really blends in there really good and you can't see it. So if you're blending two pieces of paper together, that's one way you can do it. Although I will say, try to use like a line, you know, like a really skinny paintbrush, so that when you draw your line, that you have very little, like when you tear it, it tears very specifically where you painted your water. If that makes sense. I hope so. We had a TV, it was black and white, it was a little box, and it had 13 channels. Click, 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 click. And a U, was it UF? What was that channel?
UHF.
UHF, yes. And I remember when the TV channel used to go off. You know what I mean? It would just be the stripes and the noise. That was it. There was nothing on TV. They need a little bit of that right now.
Yeah, well, we were lucky. Our stations where I grew up, they were all network stations.
Mm-hmm.
Not like here, like Phoenix.
Well, we lived in LA though.
LA's a network station.
I'm just saying there were some channels
Oh,
that
there were a few. The UHF channels would go off.
Yeah.
But CBS, NBC, ABC stayed on. WGN stayed on 24 hours for us. So because my mom worked.
Did you guys see what I just did? I laid my paper back over this wet spot right here. And my paper stuck. That's no bueno.
Joan Volkman watching from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Are you still live? Yes.
Yes, we are still live. Did you guys see what I did? So if you go over your seam, y'all, be careful. Don't do what I just did.
Okay, let's see. So the question was, what made you think somebody was rich? Let's see.
We say if they had a colored TV. I was gonna say a car phone, but like to me, if you had a car phone, you were like a doctor or a lawyer.
Yes.
That wasn't just bougie. That was like.
I had a cousin who now is a nurse, and I think she's getting ready to retire. But one of her first jobs was working for Motorola.
Oh.
Chicago Motorola was that was their corporate headquarters. So she got me
McDonald's, Motorola.
Yes.
Sorry.
United, Sears, and
what's the other company?
Allstate.
There's another one that makes all the tape.
No, 3M is based out
of Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Okay.
So she worked for Motorola, and I was like, I want to get a car phone because we had just had our first child. And I was like, I don't want my ex to be without a phone.
You're so nice.
I know. I am. And I tried to get it wired to the car, and she was like, don't do that. It's too expensive. And so I got a bag phone. And I would still have that phone if I could get replacement batteries. That was the most durable phone. We used it in radio in the 2000s.
Really?
Because that phone was fantastic.
I never even heard of a bag phone. Are you sure you're not making this up?
I swear to you, oh, it was wonderful.
I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see what I'm doing, okay? Let me zoom you back out, too. Even though this is going to handicap me. I don't know. I might turn it back around.
Shy C, I found Tarzan comic books inside a pile of comic books at a garage sale. Worth much? Yes. And it really doesn't matter which Tarzans you find.
Really?
The older ones, which are called Gold Key, and if you look up in the corner, you'll actually see a little gold key.
A little gold key, yes.
That was a publisher. They were called Gold Key. Whitman partnered with them. Those books are worth $5 to $10 each. The DC ones are worth $10 to $20 each, and then the Marvels are worth around $3 to $5 each.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of good Tarzan books. Celestine Todd, if they had encyclopedias.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you make a good point.
Shannon Booth, Guess Jeans.
Oh my gosh. Remember, what was the one? Gloria Vanderbilt and Jordache.
Kathleen Huvis had 3 channels, all from Chicago. Yes. No, you had. Where were you, Kathleen? Were you in Indiana? Did I read that right? Let's see. Dorothy Lage, given a car for high school graduation.
Oh Lord.
Those were rich people.
You know what? When I go to the high school now, look at you guys. I'm off Weco. I'm just jacking up my sign. It'll be okay. When I was in high school, first of all, when you looked at the car lot, it was a whole bunch of beat up cars. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the people who had cars, they were like cars that their dad fixed up for them. They weren't like new cars. I feel like when I go to the high school now, like...
Oh, there are trucks that are worth more than me.
Just like brand new cars. I'm like, man, I got a peach, what was that damn thing? With the big old window in the back, the hatchback.
A Gremlin?
It wasn't a Gremlin, the other one. It looked like a Gremlin though. Okay. It's the same. Yes, that's what I had.
Melissa Paget, my dad liked futzing with TVs. Futzing is a great word. So we had 3 black and whites in the 60s. Marlene Mack did have a bag phone. I'm telling you, those bag phones were you could anywhere. Those things broadcast anywhere.
Anywhere.
Donna Muncie Phipps. I had a classmate tell me he thought we were rich when we were kids because we lived in town and I had a bell I could ring on my bicycle.
Oh, I always wanted one of those bells on my bike. And a little basket in the front with the daisy on it. Very specific, I know.
Renee Amundsen, my brother-in-law, had a bag phone. I'm telling you, those are great phones. Debbie Hyland, Johnny Quest comic books. Most people don't know Johnny Quest and Haji. The artist on that lives in Scottsdale.
Really?
Well, he used to live in Wisconsin, but he lives in Scottsdale now. Steve Rude, this is another. My mother, Dorothy Lage, my mother-in-law insisted I have a car phone when my son was born because I lived in the boonies, had to work late, attending city council meetings. Melissa Pageant, anyone who went on vacation was rich to me back in the 60s in Berkeley, California.
Oh, yeah. We would go, we would come here to Safford to visit my grandparents. I'm not sure if that counted as vacation.
Kathleen Huvis, Rensselaer, Indiana. Yes, you should have had WBBM, WMAQ, WLS, and you should have gotten WGN. They had the bigger signal than everybody else, so you should have 4. Marlene Mack, hip hugger jeans, and the bigger the bells, the better.
By the time I was old enough to wear jeans, I took care about my jeans.
Shy C says, was it a Pacer?
I think it was a Pacer, Shy.
Was it really, really wide?
Yes.
That's a Pacer.
And it was peach. And you know what? I was happy.
See, Liz Bauer, I had a bag phone too. Chris Schmidt, I had a bag phone.
Oh. Maybe you guys were all bougie.
Liz Bauer, I had a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Oh,
there you go. What's the name of this paper?
This is Roycycled Treasure. Textures decoupage paper. And you actually get two textures on this sheet because you get the rusty rust, but then you also get like the patina, the blue patina as well on the other side. So this one is really fun, I think, and it's just super yummy.
Carla Wayne, again, if I'm mispronouncing it, just tell me how. Ditto jeans and candy sandals.
Oh, I remember candies.
Let's see.
I think I straddle most of my people. Like, know what I mean? I have some people that are on your side and some people that are on the other side.
On YouTube, Maureen Chatham. I remember having to change the channel, standing there to hold the ears until it cleared again. Not fun.
Yes.
Ruru2 says ditto jeans with an exclamation. I'm guessing that. Yeah.
If you had ditto jeans, I remember, I don't know, Jordache jeans for some reason.
Joan Volkman came in late. What's your project?
We are upcycling a thrift store sign to make my own sign. So we just decoupaged the back, and so you guys see how we were able to piece together those two pieces of paper, and it looks completely cohesive. I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of paper over this, and then we'll set this aside so we can work on the frame.
Shannon Booth, I drove school bus for a private school. The high school kids had such nice cars it made the staff faculty parking area look like a used car lot.
See?
Deb Highland, I had a bag with Grey Poupon, no flown.
Grey Poupons. Yeah. I remember those commercials.
I don't know. See, yeah, color TV in the 60s. In the 70s, it was a remote control.
A big old honking remote control.
Yep.
I remember we went to go, I don't know what we were doing. We were
the remote only had 4 buttons.
I know.
On, off, channel up, channel down, and volume? Or volume up and volume down.
That was fancy.
I think channel just went in one direction. So if you missed your channel,
you had to go all the way back around.
And I remember my friends' dads yelling at the I didn't have a remote control. Because my friends would hit that remote, they just bam, 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 and they'd miss the channel and go through again. And their dads would flip out. You're going to break it. Give me that. You don't know how to do it.
I bet you that they were built to last, though. I bet you found one, it still works.
Lunchbox Lady on YouTube, moon boots. 1980, my sister had to have them.
With the matching jackets. So, you guys, I'm sorry. I know this is my paper and I shouldn't be this happy, but this is just so yummy. Do you know how many layers of paint it would take me to be able to do this? I mean, I would enjoy doing it, but it would be a lot longer than just decoupaging it on there.
Marty Hardy, hash jeans for me. And then Tammy Valoni says, with the star on the back pocket. Oh. Angie Champagne clickers. Yes, that's exactly what they were called.
Clickers?
Give me the clicker.
Well, that's because they made that big old clunk sound.
Yeah. I remember my friend Tommy Helms, his parents had a remote control.
And that was a big deal.
And it was a big deal. Go over to the Helms house. Now, there were 20 Helms kids, so, you know. Tommy was my friend.
So and you know what's funny is, so I'm gonna do something really quickly, just so you guys can like be with me. I am so fired. I did not bring out anything to put product on, but you know I was gonna forget something, right? I'll just use this. This is what I'll do. So I have some bronze paint here that I'm gonna use, because right now it just looks like it's black, right? You guys can't see any details. So I'm just gonna just kind of brush some metallic over the top so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Because right now it just looks like a black blob, doesn't it? I know it does.
On YouTube, Michelle You and Me God says, I am new here. Love your papers. Where can I order from? Is there a link where I can order?
Thank you.
Love your artistic style.
There is, you know what, I didn't put I'll go back and put a link in the YouTube video. I apologize. But you can go to roycycled.com.
Roycycled.com.
Yeah. And there is a list of retailers there who carry my paper. And you can also see the current designs that are current. I should start listing retired designs too, because there's a lot. So you guys see how when it's just black, you really can't see the details that well. But when you just brush over a little bit, and you can either use a lighter paint or a metallic paint, but it just really brings the details out a lot better. So I'm gonna do that, but I kind of wanted you guys to see like what I was doing, and you can't really see anything looking at that black, right? So I'm thinking of putting those on the corner like that, right? I think that'll be pretty. What do you guys think? And then I have gears too, and so these are wood you bend gears, and the wood you bend is like a wood composite product. The cool thing about them is when you heat them up, they actually get like malleable, and so after we get done getting our molds on, we can go around and kind of form these gears around the molds wherever we want.
All right, we have two questions.
Yes.
What is the black powder on the table? That's from Sue Strecker and Dorothy Lage. What metallic are you using?
Okay, so this is just some black chalk style paint. I just have like a clear backing from my stamps, and I painted on it earlier so I wouldn't dirty up the table before we started live tonight. And so that's just paint that's left over from where I painted all my pieces. And Dorothy, I'm using Wise Owl's Heavy Metals in Bronze is the paint that I'm using tonight. I don't know why I have a lot of bronze stuff in our living room. It just kind of happened. I'm not sure.
Kathleen Hoovis, how about remotes that actually had to be plugged into the device? They had short cords.
Oh, wow.
My first VCR had a corded remote. I think I used it for about 10 minutes and realized I had to sit too close. And I was like, you know what, just let the movie play.
Just leave it alone and let it play. I remember our first VCR was so huge. It was humongous, but we were very happy to have it.
Kathy Onstead, mood rings.
Oh yeah, you guys remember the friendship bracelets too we used to make in the 80s?
Shannon Booth, cordless phone. Marty Hardy, my neighbors put colored plastic over their TV screen. DIY color TV. I do remember one neighbor having that. It looked weird to me.
Oh, what was it like?
It looked like a puddle that has oil in it. Remember how you would look at it and it'd have colors going through it? Or bad baloney, I guess is the other way. Because the colors weren't right. I mean, it'd be a green face and then blue, and then it'd be a blue face.
That's no bueno.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to glue these on. I'm using Type Bond Quick and Thick. You guys know this is my favorite glue to use when I'm gluing on my stuff. I like it because it gets tacky really quickly, it holds really well, and it dries clear.
On YouTube, Cindy Pollock, remember the Dynamite 8-track tapes?
I remember 8-tracks.
And I remember Dynamite Magazine. Did they do 8-tracks too?
I don't know.
Marlene Mack, my first printer was huge and $300.
Oh, was it a dot matrix printer? Sorry, I remember those. We used to use them in high school to make banners for the hallway. Like be 50 million dots that made up one word.
The first VCR I bought was $200, and that was 50% off because, once again, I grew up in Copland. A whole bunch fell off the back of a truck.
What?
So
are you implying?
Every police family had the exact same JVC VCR.
So this one didn't dry completely flat, and it's kind of kicking up a little bit here. So when you work with your resin, you guys, if you warm it up, it becomes a little malleable. So when stuff like this happens, I just apply some heat, and then when that resin gets warm, I'll be able to reform it so that it lays flat on my surface.
Dorothy Lage says you can build up the corners with the gears, then the scrolling things. But you've already started.
I already started, Dorothy.
Yeah. Amber Demakowitz, no, they're not clay, they're resin.
Yeah, I used resin for these. I use resin quite a lot. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. Don't tell nobody, okay? My hands, like, I don't know, arthritis just runs in our family. And so when the weather is like it is now, we have clouds every day here. My hands are just not the greatest, and the clay takes work. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but when your hands are hurting, it matters. And so the resin is just easier for me. But I do use the clay sometimes, though, especially if I'm working on like a big project with a lot of molds, and I need things to work around each other and I want to cut stuff, I'll use the clay. But I do use the resin a lot. And because of the way that my creative mind works, I like being able to pour everything I need so that when I start working, that's what I'm focused on.
Kathleen Hoovis, didn't the dynamite 8-tracks look like dynamite? You had to hit the top to change the tracks.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I do remember an 8-track player that had like a T handle that came up and you would push that and it would, maybe that's what it was? Oh. But I remember them in like powder blue and red and...
That sounds like it's probably something...
almost like the detonation box.
Yeah, like dynamite.
Yeah, but it didn't look like dynamite strung together. It looked like the box. Mm-hmm. But it was small. It was, and
I bet you that's what he's talking about.
It might have been. I don't know. Maybe that's what they were. I never knew they were dynamite. I just remember that. Actually, I didn't remember that until she said it, until Kathleen said it.
Sometimes somebody will either say something or I'll like smell something and it'll bring back a memory that I haven't thought about in ages.
On YouTube, Cindy Pollock says that's correct. Okay, so there you go.
Okay.
I didn't know they were called dynamite 8-track players.
That makes sense though.
Yeah. I was not a big 8-track guy. I was a vinyl guy.
Oh. My mom had like milk crates lined up in the living room with like hundreds and hundreds of albums. My mom loved music. I love music. That's how my mind works.
That's it. The player was the detonator. Okay. I remember those, but I remember them being in bright colors, not like... I just remember a powder blue one. Mm. Maybe I had a friend that had one. I don't know.
I had a little personal record player. The little ones that you could play the...
Close and play? That was my first.
Yes.
I had a close and play with... And my first 45 was Steppin' Stone by the Monkees.
I had Jackson 5.
Zoe Pinette. My mother thought more expensive meant better, so she got Beta.
Oh.
It was better. Legitimately, it was a better format. It was clearer. I had a friend who had Beta. He's now a minister in Terre Haute, Indiana.
So there was Beta and VHS, is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Oh, so how come VHS won out, I wonder?
2 reasons. Beta was by Sony, and Sony was for decades, much like Apple is today, they're proprietary with their software.
Oh,
They won't share it. VHS was developed by, was it JVC? It might have been JVC or Panasonic, I forget who. But they basically said, look, here's our technology, you can license it. So there were all these VHS machines, but only Sony Beta.
I see.
And then VHS, you could go up to 6 hours, eventually up to 8 hours of recording, where I think the max on Beta was, I think it started at 2.5 and then eventually got up to 4.5 hours.
So they just were so stingy, they just push themselves out of the market.
Yeah, and that's exactly. And Apple, remember there was a point where Apple was on the ropes. If it wasn't for the iPod, Apple might have disappeared. Oh. Because they were the same way. Mac computers.
The iPod, sorry,
but the iPod and then the iPhone really put Apple over.
Yes.
But Mac computers were struggling because IBM said you could license how we do things. So, let's see. Marlene Mack still has vinyl. Angie Champagne, when I first started teaching, I used film strips and reel-to-reel films.
Oh yeah.
16 millimeter films.
You know, it's so funny. Do you know what I remember about the reel-to-reels more than anything? Is when it would come to the end of the movie and the film, it would come off and you hear that. Yeah. I don't know why. Like, that's a distinct memory for me for those. But yes, everything was on. Or when it would burn through, when the lamp would burn through the film.
Debbie DeMoss Hackett. My first album was Johnny Rivers. Johnny Rivers Live at the Whiskey A Go-Go is one of the great albums.
Whiskey A Go-Go.
Johnny Rivers was the house band, the house singer. And
This
all right,
project
trivia
is so
question.
big. Okay.
When Johnny Rivers, I'm gonna get it backwards, I think. Who
What do
did
you guys
Johnny
think?
Rivers replace as the house band at the Whiskey? Either he replaced this band or this band replaced Johnny Rivers. So the Whiskey would bring in acts, but they also had a house band. And this band was very famous. I want to say Johnny Rivers replaced this band. They got fired for saying a naughty word. And Johnny Rivers replaced this band. So there you go. There's the trivia for tonight. Cindy Pollock on YouTube. I remember my parents playing Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. Was it Brazil 66? Which is the one that had the naked lady covered in whipped cream? I think it was Herb Alpert. I think it was Herb Alpert.
Which is the one that had the naked lady covered in whipped cream? I do not know.
I think it was Herb Alpert.
You guys, I am making this for myself, so you guys see how I measure it with my brush, right? I'm cheating. I don't have a tape measure. Or should I put this on the bottom? I'm going to put it on the top. I'm going to put it on the bottom. Oh, Lord.
Nancy J. Camp Avalos. I remember Daniel Boone. We had a 45, maybe a 33 of the TV program's theme song. Yes. Let's see. Deb Hyland. My ex suggested I wear a mood ring so he'd know how I was feeling. When it left a big red mark on his forehead, he knew I was mad.
Oh my goodness.
Deb Hyland, first album, The Partridge Family 8-track tape. I had that album. And Linda Gordet, which is it? Yes, it was Herb Alpert. I'm telling you, I remember that album. Let's see. Linda D'Antonio and Marlene Mack, you are my hero. You measure like they do.
You guys see me, right? I know I don't have a tape measure, and even if I had one, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I don't know if I cannot guarantee that I would use it. But I'm just putting. I'm sorry. I probably should tell you guys what I'm doing. I didn't have a very specific plan. I just poured some molds that I thought I would use, and so I don't know. Putting stuff where I like it.
Thank you, Linda. It's Gordet. Thank you. Deb Hyland. Whipped is the name of the album. Yes, it's Herb Alpert. The album was green, absolutely, with the naked lady in whipped cream.
Oh.
I remember that album. I think my grandmother had that album because it's an instrumental, Herb Alpert. Billy Keir still has that album.
Certain albums, I don't know why, like Frankie Beverly and Maze. I don't know why their album cover is in my memory. I think it has more to do with, for me, music was such a big part of our lives that I legitimately have a soundtrack to my life. Mm-hmm. And so I think to me that album cover and that summer, we spent a lot of time at Venice Beach. I don't know. Anyways. So that one is in my brain, and the one of Michael Jackson laying in his white suit, was that Off the Wall?
Yes, that was Off the Wall. Great, that's a great album. Marlene Mack, yes, Herb Alpert, thank you. Carla Wayne, my first album was Three Dog Night and After the Gold Rush by Neil Young. First 45s, Sweet Cream Ladies by the Box Tops, nice. And the Monkees, I'm a Believer. Pam Wasson, oh man, you nothing but respect. My first album, Meet the Beatles. And she still has it. In the UK, it was with the Beatles.
Oh,
in America, it was with the Beatles. No, first album was Please Please Me. in the UK. And With the Beatles, I think, is their second.
What's the second one? So they had an album here first?
No, they had a deal. So Parlophone they published the Beatles' music in England, and they licensed it to Capitol Records in the US. In England, they would have 12 tracks, and the singles never appeared on an album. The feeling was, why buy a single if I could get the album?
Yeah.
So they would do singles separately. In America, that's not the way it's done.
No.
Oh no, I take it back. 14 songs on the album, and
2
singles
songs.
not. This is in England. 14 songs per album, singles not on the album. In America, it's 12 songs per album, so there were extra songs. And in America, you put singles on the album,
Yes.
so they would jumble the albums. They wouldn't be 1-to-1. So with the Please Please Me only had 14 songs in England, but Meet the Beatles had 12 songs. So 2 of those songs get pushed to the next album.
Get pushed to the next album.
So you got.
Oh, that's just way too complicated.
It is, and it is. Sarah JD, yes, on YouTube, 100%. The Doors. Johnny Rivers either replaced the Doors or the Doors replaced Johnny Rivers at the whiskey.
Oh. Okay, really quickly, you guys. I do not want to interrupt your
No.
trivia, but so these would you bins, like I don't have to warm them up because I'm putting it on something fairly flat and all the edges will touch. But even when I'm not using them like to make them bend, I still heat them up first because it actually makes them adhere a lot quicker when you warm them up first. So in case you guys are wondering, like, why am I warming up a wood you bin if I'm just going to lay it flat? That's why.
Melissa Paget, Swingle Singers. My parents liked them. We also marched around the coffee table to John Philip Sousa marches. Linda D'Antonio, my first album was The Four Seasons. All right. I'll listen to a little Frankie Valli. Melissa Paget, parents also played a ton of classical. So Pinette. All right, that's funny. Wait, before I get there, Nancy Avalos. My first 45 was "That's All" by the Midnighters.
The Midnighters.
That's All by the Midnighters. I'd have to hear it. I don't know that one. Maybe if I heard it. Zoe Pinette. Gordon Lightfoot, his number one hit, the Edmund Fitzgerald. Do you think he secretly hopes another boat sinks? It's funny. It's dark, but it's funny. Marlene Mack, our first album was Elvis Presley Christmas. Linda D'Antonio, my nursery music was anything by Hendrix, Jesus Christ Superstar, West Side Story, and the Hair soundtracks. Melissa Paget, it was the biggest rush to go buy the new Beatles album. I only remember the release of one. Now, I had Monkeys records.
Hey, hey, with a monkey.
So that's 66, 67, 68. And Aquarius, Pisces, Capricorn, and Jones is one of my favorite albums of all times. I love that album. I only remember Let It Be being released.
Oh.
I was there for Sgt. Pepper's and Magical Mystery Tour and Abbey Road, but for some reason I only remember Let It Be.
Because that's the only one you liked?
No, it's probably my least favorite Beatles album.
So, I do want to show you guys what these, because I painted them before we came on tonight. So these are Would You Bin, and this is what they look like when you get them. So they're not like, I painted them black just so we could save time. These are the ones I'm using tonight, are the tiny ones, but there are some that are a little bit larger that I'm working on my mannequin back here that I'll finish Sunday. Not today. Sunday.
Billy Keir, Queen and ABBA, first 2 albums, got together for my birthday. Let's see. Amber Demakowitz, first album, Slow Hand. Okay. Clapton Live at Budokan's a great album. It's a really good album. Michelle Baker, Monkeys and Dave Clark 5. Melissa Paget, Rubber Soul. I am almost to the point of saying Rubber Soul is better than Magical Mystery or Sgt. Pepper. I think Rubber Soul might be better.
Are you not supposed to say that?
No. Sgt. Pepper is considered the greatest album of all time.
To who?
Most people that like rock and roll.
Really?
But I think Rubber Soul might be better.
Are you causing problems again?
And then, of course, you've got Pet Sounds from the Beach Boys. Is right there, too.
I guess it was rock. I just didn't think beach. I don't know.
Melissa Paget, is Would You Bend really wood?
Honestly, I do not know. I think it's a composite. So I would imagine it's a composite of like wood and some other stuff. But do not quote me because I am not sure.
Nancy Avalos, my brother had every album of the Beatles. Yeah. I eventually got them.
Yes. But you can stain it, though. So you can paint or stain the Would You Bend.
Kathleen Hoovis, my first 45. Christmas present for my parents. Knocked 3 times on the ceiling. Tony Orlando and Dawn. Tony Orlando wrote a couple of songs before he hit big. Oh man. He and Sonny Bono were both good songwriters and producers. And then kind of fell into being singers.
Oh wow. How did that happen?
Well,
were you like singing in the studio and
Sonny got married to Cher, and Cher is a singer.
Oh, yes.
So he wound up singing on some of her songs, and that turned into Sonny and Cher. But he was a songwriter-producer first, and I want to say Tony Orlando was the same way.
Kind of like us, huh, baby?
Let's see. Sue Strecker, Human Beings, Nobody But Me, Beinz. I don't know that band. Is that a UK band, the Human Beings?
Yo no sé.
Deb Hyland, best album ever in the 70s, Frampton Comes Alive. Okay, sure. We got tired of it. It just played forever.
Okay, yeah, sure. Did you hear him? I heard that. I heard
my first real job, not paid under the table.
Oh, like your legit job?
Yeah, at 13, I was laying seal coating for a fireman. So I was just getting cash. But my first real job was working in a hot dog stand. We had an 8-track player, and we had 4 8-tracks.
Oh my.
We had the first Foreigner album. We had the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, Frampton Comes Alive, and Donna Summer, Love to Love You Baby.
I love to love you, baby.
So we heard those 4 over and over again.
You know what? We used to ride the bus. So when I lived in LA, we actually rode the bus I rode the bus to the Valley to go to school. Anyways, long story. There's a group of us who are considered gifted, and we all have like similar experiences, which I think is hilarious. So I rode the bus to the Valley, and every day on the bus, we would hear Rod Stewart's
Do You Think I'm Sexy?
Yes. I don't even know. I would just hear it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why?
Let's see. Michelle Baker says the best is Bohemian Rhapsody. Another one we just heard too much of. I was never a big Queen fan. I could appreciate them, but I was just never a fan. Sherry Martin, ELO album that was green. Only 7-track, or I'm guessing 8-track tape. Casey and the Sunshine Band. I love ELO. Melody Clark, Rockin' Robin, one of my first 45s. Joanna Rogers, Janis Joplin and Big Brothers and the Holding Company were your first albums? Wow. She dove in the deep end.
It's crazy how talented she was.
Melissa Paget, do you prefer Would You Bend or IOD molds?
Honestly, I use them for different reasons. You know what? Thank you, Melissa, because I was going to talk about that tonight. So if I'm working on a project like this where the smaller profile molds are good, then I'll use IOD. I like using the would you bend molds when I'm working on like furniture projects, or I want something that has a higher profile. Or if I just don't feel like making molds, I cannot tell a lie, then I'll use would you bend. But generally, if you guys see me working on a smaller project like this, I'll be using the IOD molds. And if you see me working on like furniture, I like to use the would you bend molds because they're taller. You guys know what I mean? Like they have a higher profile. And they come like, some molds from would you bend are seriously like bigger than my head. So I'm not even kidding. Look at that one right there, it's huge. So you can get like different sizes from would you bend.
On YouTube, Cindy Pollock, I remember the Lawrence Welk show, The Bubble Machine. Would sit with my grandmother, watch it every weekend. I had to.
You had to?
My grandfather. That and Jackie Gleason. Had to watch Lawrence Welk and Jackie Gleason.
My grandfather used to watch, oh Lord, what was the name? It was a Western show.
Wagon Train?
No.
Bonanza?
Bonanza, that's the one.
There you go.
Yes, I had to watch Bonanza with my grandpa. And as a female detective, she was older. This is my grandmother.
Oh, older? That'd be...
Was it Murder, She Wrote?
Yeah, Murder, She Wrote.
Yes.
On YouTube, Lunchbox Lady, I saw Captain Tennille at the Michigan State Fair. Jan Goutier, my first 45 was The More I See You from Chris Montez. I don't know who Chris Montez is.
I don't know.
Let's see, Deb DeMoss Hackett. I remember
Are you guys tired of seeing me do molds yet? Sorry. I might be getting a little carried away.
Remember coming home from high school, watching Dark Shadows, then American Bandstand before homework?
You got to watch TV before homework?
I only remember American Bandstand on Saturdays. But I do remember my aunts babysitting me when I was kindergarten, first grade. And they liked to dance, so maybe it was American Bandstand they were watching. I just remember seeing it on Saturdays later.
Oh, later on Saturdays.
Sherry Spade Benhart, Fleetwood Mac, still have the album Rumors. Where's the one that I saw? Tammy Baloney, saved my babysitting money, bought Kiss Alive. My mother about had kittens.
I can see that.
Kathleen Hoovis, I remember when the movie Tommy came out. We rushed to see it when it finally came to our small town. All right, The Who is my favorite band. Tommy is considered the album that changed rock and roll. It's the first rock opera.
Okay.
I prefer their second rock opera, Quadrophenia. I think it's a much better piece. But the movie Tommy is bat crap crazy.
Is it bat crap crazy?
It really is. It truly is. Ken Russell directed it. He's known for being weird to begin with. Then you add in this crazy rock opera, and
y'all know we're gonna have to watch this stuff now, don't you?
It's weird. It's a weird movie.
Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more molds, you guys, and then I'll put this away so we can glue on our believe. I believe I can fly. Or you guys can tell me if I should put some some bronze around the edge of the letters, or no.
Kathleen Hoovis, IOD or would you bend, which is more cost effective?
Well, IOD, so I'll talk about both of them. IOD is cool because once I buy this mold, it's mine, right? So whether I use clay or hot glue or resin, I'm trying to think of what else I can put in here. I can make my molds over and over again, right? Where with the would you bend, once I use it, then that's it. But whatever I use, I'm gonna have to pay for it to make whatever I make, if that makes sense. So it depends on what your favorite medium is, because resin is not inexpensive. I'm gonna have to do a direct comparison to see with the different, that's a good idea. I think I'll do that with the different products, because like hot glue, for instance, is super inexpensive. So you can use hot glue in your molds. I have not been successful, but it's something that I'm doing because I see other people do it all the time. But you can also use air dry clay and or the resin. So it depends on what you're using in your mold. But once you buy your mold from IOD, you have it forever. I feel like with our crafts that you use different things for different purposes. And IOD doesn't have any gears either.
Susan Howlett Brockway, you are not getting carried away. More is better.
Huh?
Susan Howlett Brockway, you are not getting carried away. More is better.
More is more, right?
Well, we're at 1 hour 15.
Are we seriously? Okay.
Seriously, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just bronze this up really quickly so you guys can see what I did, because I know it's kind of hard to see when everything is black. And then I was really hoping we could finish this together, because you guys know what? If I don't finish it with y'all, it might not get finished. Y'all know that, right?
So here's the thing on Facebook.
See how pretty that is.
YouTube's not an issue. I can see everybody who shared from YouTube. But Facebook rotates out the older comments.
Oh, so we can't see?
So if you shared this, would you mind just saying that you shared it?
Yes, just say shared.
Because we want to do the giveaway, and
yes,
and I don't want to leave anybody out. Let's see. Marty Hardy, sing along with Mitch. Yeah, my grandfather was a sing along with Mitch guy too.
I'm going to assume you were not by that.
Oh, well, it was all music from the. It was. How best to put it? It was pub music, American pub music, which doesn't exist. In the UK, pub music is a real thing. But it was American pub music from like the 30s.
Okay. That's a bad thing?
Yeah, so it was like...
so in your family, you just got tired of hearing it?
They call her, they call her Mary, Mary, sweet as any name can be. And they would put the lyrics up, and there was a ball. You followed the bouncing ball.
Oh, okay.
To sing along with Mitch. And Mitch was just a band leader. Oh.
So it was like karaoke.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Sue Strecker, Don Cornelius, absolutely.
What do you guys think? Yay or nay? I think that's fun.
Always would rather watch Soul Train than American Bandstand. It was so much better. Celestine Todd, what glue are you using?
I am using Tight Bond Quick and Thick. It's my personal favorite. But you can use any wood glue though. I decided that I want my whole thing to be bronze, not just the highlights. So these larger projects are more fun, but they're harder to keep in frame. I think I was thinking like maybe I'll start Christmas next week. What do you guys think? Should I start doing Christmas or is it too early?
Von Nelson Love, fireworks here are blasting.
Oh, I'm surprised we haven't.
Oh,
did you? I'm surprised we haven't heard any yet.
I really wish they didn't here. We're still so dry.
I know. It's the freaking desert, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a wildfire waiting to happen. But I can tell you from the video, that's making all the difference. Because up to this point, it's just been one big black blob. That's
why I love, so just a tip for you guys, because you guys know how we spend a lot of time adding dimension and detail to our work, right? Whether it's adding molds or whether it's adding texture. And so there are several ways that I like really make my details pop. One is like this, is gilding, right? When you're using a metallic. You can also do the same thing either with your finger or with a brush. I prefer my fingers. With a lighter color to really make your highlighted areas pop. But you can also, like if these were whites, I could use a dark glaze and push that glaze into the recessed areas and then go over the tops and really pull off the glaze so that there's that variance in color and you could see your details a lot better. And it's just a matter of preference or what project I'm working on, what I do. And with the glaze, I could, like if this were light, I could push glaze into the recesses and still go over and highlight the highlights or the high points, or put a darker color on the high points too, as well. So this is where I am. I'm gonna have to post a picture later, guys, because I don't have enough room to show you, but these are the corners. Yeah. And then we have just some little dooley-dads around the center areas where I kind of really focused and added. And I don't know what I'm gonna put in that little crest right there, but I'm gonna put something in there.
All right, so here's the responses. Melissa Q.E. Gomez, Christmas in July. Melissa Paget, no to Christmas. Tammy Valoni, Christmas in July. Von Nelson, love, it's July. Walmart will start soon. Why not do Christmas in July here too? To which Melissa Paget responded, no. Chris Schmidt says, thumbs up and smiley faces to Christmas projects. On YouTube, Cindy Pollock, yes, Christmas. Joan Volkman, I love how the silver made those embellishments pop.
Yeah. PJ
Otto, new name I've never heard before. Thank you, PJ, for watching on YouTube. Looks great. Shy C on Facebook, well done. I really like the addition of bronze. Amber Demakowitz, no Christmas in July. So let's see, Melissa Paget, it's rockets, red glare, and bombs bursting in air here.
Oh, wow.
Debbie Hackett, they're rattling my house with the big fireworks. That's on YouTube. So, yeah, it's everybody's getting bombed out. Angie Champagne, too soon for Christmas. Marty Hardy, yes, Christmas, please.
Okay, maybe we'll wait 1 week.
Billy Keir, got to start them early so we will be ready to sell them for the holidays.
And that's, you know what, and that's really what it is. I think the people who are saying yes are probably ones who are have booth spaces, you know, and you're just, it's nice to see other people create because it inspires you. Even if you don't do the same thing, it can be a similar idea. And the people who have to decorate their houses are like, no, we don't want to think about that yet. Not yet.
Debbie Hyland, nah to Christmas.
Nah.
Joanna Rogers, anything, anytime. Just love the style.
And my Christmas is, well, I guess it might be traditional Christmas.
On YouTube, Debbie Hackett, how about we do some fall projects first?
Okay, that, you know what, you make a valid point, Debbie.
PJ Otto is Peggy Otto Finnegan. That's her YouTube. So.
Oh, okay.
So hi, Peggy. Marlene Mack, watching fireworks. My animals are terrified. See, another reason to not have them. Just let the professionals do them one day.
Yes.
Off somewhere, like ours are at our county fairgrounds.
I was gonna say, like at the fairgrounds.
You know, and just maybe I'm getting old, cranky.
Get off my lawn. No, I'm kidding.
Tammy Valoni had to sedate my poor pup because of fireworks. Aww. Yeah, it's true.
And that's gonna be the whole weekend, probably. Yep. I mean, you know what I mean? Because they'll be going off all weekend.
Cindy Pollock, yes, I'm doing a big show in September. So she said yes. You know,
that's what I'm saying. The makers are the ones that are saying yes, I believe. I'm trying to figure out how I can like line up my letters.
Here's Angie Champagne's compromise. Yes to Christmas if you use the new papers.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, is that we'll have the new papers soon. So we'll probably wait another week. Next week I'll think of something to do. And then the week after that, we'll start in with the holidays because we have the new papers coming out.
So next week, I may not be here. Depends on if we have the grandchild.
Yeah.
The week after that is the week I'm in Phoenix for the tourism conference.
So you guys will be with boring old me.
But I'll be back by Sunday, so I don't know if we'll have them then.
Oh, okay.
So
we'll have to see. You guys see me? I'm trying to line this up because I figure the letters probably should be square and everything, right? I mean, that might be a good idea. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do that. It's a little pushed to the top a little bit though, which is actually good because we have that crest on the bottom. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna line them
I
up.
believe it's still missing an E.
No, it's there. B-E-L-I-E-V-E.
It's
Oh,
cutting-
it's
cutting
out
off.
of the.
Yeah, it's cutting
Yeah,
off
it's
the
out of
frame.
the frame, you guys, because this is a long project, and I could pull my. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. I didn't know I could pull out anymore. But with that blue against the rust is so pretty, right? So I'm just using my Type Bond Quick and Thick. I'm just glue it on there.
Debbie Highland, this has been a great relief for me to talk to everybody. Hubby was hit by a truck on his motorcycle.
Oh, how is he?
I hope he's okay.
Oh
That's a
my
rough
gosh,
one. Truck
Debbie.
versus motorcycle. That's a rough one.
You had a rough year, Miss Debbie. Yeah. So this is what I do, you guys. So my bee isn't tacking down right away, so I'm gonna warm it up and make it tack.
So we have 5 minutes left on this. So are you going to finish this next week, or are you going to finish this during the week?
I'm gonna finish it during the week because we're pretty much done. I mean, we've done all the steps together. All I really have to do is glue the letters on there and put the frame on here. And you guys saw how I took it out of the frame, right? So we're going to put it back in the same way. And so next week there'll be a new project. I almost went to the thrift store this week, but I told myself to go shopping in my van. So I found some stuff. So depending on the release, I may be able to do something with the new papers next week, but we'll see what happens.
Husband's hurt, but no broken bones. That's fantastic.
Good. Good.
Hopefully no internal injuries.
Yeah, no soft tissue damage.
Just
either.
sore. On YouTube, Joan Volkman, a lot of booming going on outside here. Surprised the cat hasn't hidden under the bed yet. Amber Demekwitz, since we just have 3 minutes, asks, can you place the frame over it just so they can see?
Yes, I can do that. Let me do these last couple.
Kathleen Hoovis, the blue pops, especially with the black edges.
Yeah, I went ahead and did the black. And you guys know what? I'm looking at the bronze against this really warm rust. I may go in and put copper. So if you guys see copper, don't be surprised. I think that the bronze is a little cooler and it's going to look really cool against this really hot copper color. So I may go back in and add in copper just to make it look a little bit more cohesive.
Holly Murphy, David is probably really happy you shopped in the van. Oh, there's more shopping to be done.
It's heavy stuff. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Debbie Highland, bruised ribs, whole body blunt force trauma. He's on morphine right now. So hang in there.
And so
sore is better than other stuff. So you know,
I think I'm just gonna do a little
silver
bit of
linings
copper.
where you can find them.
Yes. See, the copper is warmer. What do you guys think? I think the copper is going to be better.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Because this was my first takeaway. Why not put the big medallion on top?
I liked it on the bottom.
Okay.
I was going to put it on the top, but then I changed my mind. I put it on the bottom.
Because my takeaway is the flourish on the top that you have there now. Looks like a mustache.
It is a mustache. That's good. It's supposed to be steampunky. I'll take a mustache.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I didn't see a mustache, but and I could flip it around. I just like the idea of the medallion being on the bottom.
We've got a couple people saying copper.
Yeah, I think the warm copper is going to go better with this than the But this is the beauty of paint, right? If you don't like it, you can just paint over it. Yeah. I think I like the copper better.
Yeah.
So I'll go over and just like redo all that in copper, and I'll get it on here, and then I think I'm gonna try to leave it alone, y'all. Because I think if I keep messing with it, I'm gonna mess up. But that's our project, though. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. You guys see I'm off center too. I'm gonna pretend like I don't see that.
All right.
This should be right here.
Give me a number.
Give me a number.
Yeah.
7.
7.
7 is always a good number.
All right. Let me see if we got a 7 on here.
7, 11. Oh, I want to scoot this over, but then I'll scoot everything over and I'll mess it up. I believe I can fly. Oh yeah, we have to do the drawing, huh? Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate you guys coming to hang out with us and chatting with us about all the things. You guys can see one of the things I love about my husband is that he's so intelligent. He knows a lot of stuff.
No, that just means I wasted my youth on trivial matters. That's all it means. So I will announce our winner in 1 second.
Drum roll, please.
I just want to put this on.
Are you doing it?
I'm putting, that you won DMS.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh, you're writing it on there?
Yeah, I always do that. I always put it as a response to a comment.
Oh, okay.
So that way if the person has clicked off, they'll get the notification.
But you didn't tell me who it was yet.
I'm going to right now.
Oh, okay.
It's Cheryl Montgomery House.
Cheryl Montgomery House. Where are my sticky notes? Because I brought them with me today. So I can write it down. Because sometimes I can't remember. So Cheryl, be sure and message me with your address so I can send Cheryl Montgomery
House. House. And it's CHERYL.
CHERYL.
YL.
That's how I wrote it.
There you go. So I just wanted to put that on there because that way she can see it if she had to click off. So. And I will put that in there. And I hope you enjoy my grab bag. I know it's kind of a mess, but I love the idea of it. I would have fun with that. Thank you guys so much. If you guys are new, you guys can find us here on Facebook and you can find me on YouTube. I do have a lot of videos on YouTube. Cheryl's still there.
Oh, good. Thank you, Cheryl. Congratulations. If you guys would like to receive text alerts, you can text hello to 928-563-4641. That's 928-563.
I'm sorry.
4641.
Debbie Highland. I'm going to be bougie tonight and look for a bag phone on eBay. The hard part's the battery. I'm just telling you. Find the battery.
Find the battery and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
And then, I'm going to put the email list on the top. What I'll do is when I get off tonight, you guys, I'll put a thing on the top for you guys to sign up for our email list because I have made a commitment. So my plan is to send out like a monthly newsletter. I'll send out emails once a week to give you guys like a heads up on what we're going to be doing. And if we're not going to be live Sunday, we'll let you know that too. And any announcements, I don't know. I won't like spam you with a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff. And then probably share some of my crazy things I think about during the week. Just some stuff. But it'll be a fun one. It won't be like, I don't know. I have plans. So if you guys want to be on our email list, you can fill that form out because I know that I have my email list, but I haven't really been attending to it very well. So I made a commitment to do that. And I think that's it. Can you think of anything else, maybe? If you guys are looking for Roycycled decoupage papers, you guys can find more designs and retailers at Roycycled.com. We forgot to have our retailers put their links tonight.
Although one person was looking for the cowboy and a retailer said, yep, I got it.
Okay, very good. So, if you guys are ever looking for a specific design, so two things. We have a group called Roycycled, Upcycling with Decoupage is the name of the group. The group is nice because you guys can post and we can post. So when you create something, you can share it with your peers inside of the group. And also the retailers hang out in the group. So if you're looking for a specific design and you can't find it, you can post it in the group and one of the retailers will hop on and take care of you. You guys can share stuff that you've made. If you're working on a project and you have a question, you can ask it in the group and somebody will help you there as well. So that's Roycycled, Upcycling with Decoupage.
Can I throw one thing in on that?
Yes.
A lot of people think what they do isn't worthy of showing to others.
Oh no.
They may think it turned out bad. It didn't turn out the way they planned. It doesn't look like somebody else's.
Well, it's not going to because it's yours.
I say share it because artists are inspired by so many different things. You may think, oh, I didn't make this work the way I wanted, and somebody else may say, that's a technique I want to learn because I like the way that looks.
Yes.
So don't think your stuff isn't good enough.
And I will tell you guys, if anybody's ever taken my courses before, you guys already know this, but I really, really encourage sharing because you're gonna inspire, as David just said, somebody else, and you're also gonna encourage somebody else. Like you have no idea how powerful it is for you to share your projects. And so I really do encourage you guys to do that. Even if you don't think it's like, wonderful. And you guys know how we do. I teach classes in person and everybody walks around looking at everybody else's project, talking about how wonderful it is. And then they'll say, well, mine's okay. Stop that.
Yeah, everybody can learn from everybody.
Yes.
And your stuff's not as bad as you think it is.
It never is.
It never is.
No.
All right.
That's it. You guys have a blessed week. Enjoy the holiday, and we will see you guys